some point I will do it. Oh, wow. Almost chomped. See, here's some more watermelons. They're just going everywhere now. Watermelons, water. And I've already pulled probably 15, 20 watermelons out and ate them and gave them away. And I'll post some pics. But these are all watermelons. Now look, this is where people will be like, this man will never mow his yard. Look, watermelons. There go these dogs. Lord help me. Cheap home security system, I guess. But again, here look, dandelions. The fish will eat them. I'll eat them. Wild lettuce, sort of dandies. I'll eat them. Fish will eat them. These are more burnweed, fireweed, milkweeds in here. I threw a lot of seeds in here. Okay, this, for all I know, that's fennel or something, right? I went to the farmer's market. I bought a lot of, there's a pine's coming up. I bought a lot of custom, this is a 80-some-year-old magnolia tree, just beautiful. But let me take a brief aside here, show you how I built soil on this. Looked like a tennis court when I moved in 2 years ago. All these enormous trees up here, sweet gum, oak, right, maple, pines, everything they dropped, we raked it up and put it back in here. You can see, look. And this is the fall and wood chips. I had a load of wood chips brought in. And between all the leaves and the wood chips, and I had a worm box going in here that made soil, and I composted piles of compost. More dandelions, I'm telling you, delicious. This also, by the way, blue violet, also edible. And if I want a salad, I go through this yard and I can pick 15 different types of leaves for a salad. All of them delicious. There's some more watermelons coming up. There is a watermelon in there. I don't want another one somewhere. I don't want to step on. There's a beautiful dandelion. Look at that thing there. Wild lettuce of some kind, right? But, you know, these are huge leaves. I'll come back and get these for the fish. The fish will eat the flowers like crazy too. They love everything about dandelions. Tilapia. But all these wild lettuce and stuff, this is food for the fish. They also have enormous root systems, right? So they put a big plug root down in there, a tap root. So that's building soil. These are scarlet runner beans climbing up a now burned up weed of some kind. I think that was burn weed again. This one the dogs probably hit, if you know what I'm saying. They probably took a leak on there too many times. These are runner beans that I planted last year, and they came back spontaneously. So that's fantastic. They're perennial, and I believe that's gonna happen this time. But again, I may I may be wrong. I went, well, anyways, let me get back to the story. I went to the farmer's market. I got tired of buying seeds. You get 20, 40, 50 in a packet for $5 or whatever, right? That became a little annoying to me. Beautiful canary melon. So, I mean, I had hundreds of dollars worth of custom seeds and cuttings that I ordered, like that Okinawan spinach and such, and the Ghanaian Procumbens, longevity spinach, you know, that kind of stuff. But at some point I was like, man, this is kind of, the rate of return on seeds in a clay, orange clay tennis court like yard is not good. Okay, it's a harsh environment, it's too hot. So, and there's not enough soil yet. So I went to the farmer's market. Just went down the aisle with the quinoa, millet, barley, amaranth, and I buy a quart of seeds, use some for dinner, throw the rest in the yard. See what I mean? So I did that for a while. Beans, black beans, red beans, pinto beans, anything that, dill seed, celery seed, fennel seed, all the seeds that they have in the farmer's market are, you know, there's so many of them in a quart or in a small container. and I threw them all in here. So that which has survived is being allowed to thrive. And that which perishes, I hardened my heart to gardening after I killed another number of plants, and now I just let them go and throw something else in their place now. Now here is a pomegranate tree. Hey! Shut up! Dogs. I'm surprised they listen. Just relax a second, you ding-dongs. My dogs. This is a pomegranate tree. I don't know if you can even see it really, but there it is. It's happening. I put that in. Wow. When did I put that in? Spring? I put those in November. Right? No. Those went in this spring. I kept them indoors for the winter. I brought them out this spring. Some of these trees you're about to see. This place is swarming with trees now, by the way. There's some more chickweed and stuff. Now this, well, here, let me just do some trees for a second. The sun's coming out. I gotta hurry because I'll get, look at that, roasted to a crisp. Mulberry tree. You see it? Well, the others are too small still. They're covered in weeds. So I'll get to them when I get to them. I'll be over there in a second. But look, this whole thing here was hummingbird flowers, right? A hummingbird mix, seed mix. You get a bag of those for next to nothing, 1,000,000 seeds, all kind of species that come and go through the seasons and feed hummingbirds, right? And there are also some butterfly seeds in there. Butterfly plants that they like, flowers. So these are all wild flowers and stuff. This is intentionally planted stinging nettles, right? I bought seeds, and man, it finally cooled down enough for them to pop. And we got enough shade here, I guess, to make it. Those are gonna be for eating, baby. Make some soup out of that. Stinging nettle soup. Before I forget, there is another pomegranate tree. It's in here somewhere. When the cold snap comes in a couple months, and this will all die back quite a bit, I'll be able to find my trees. Yeah, mulch them in for the winter, and there it is. This is a pomegranate tree. Now look, this thing would be burned completely into oblivion if I hadn't let some of these plants grow around it, provide some shade. It's been that hot here. It was almost 100 degrees in June. Most of the days it was in the 90s already. Earlier, a month early. So, I decided, see, these have come and gone. The next hummingbird, butterfly plants are coming on now, whatever they are. In here are some grapes. You see this old clothesline I pulled from a friend of mine's yard, and I ran some cables from it to a planter over here. Used to be an old 80-gallon horse trough, right? And there are grapes in here growing up this vine. I don't want to destroy too much to show those to you. There they are. Let's see. There's a few grapes in there. Now I'm not even going to try to pick these or do anything with them because God, I don't know. It's hard to see. The sun's coming up. But oh, there you go. They're in there. They're going to grow up this wire. There's a couple varieties in there. They're working. There's the sunflowers. Now they have come and gone already for the season. I'll work my way over there. Pine. I just let them all pop up. Whatever came up, I encourage it. But look, tomatoes. There's some heirlooms in there. These are plant starts that I bought. Purple basil, purple Thai basil. Peppers. Those peppers need a little more sun, but you can see how dry it is and hot. I mean, that basil is kind of suffering. What I decided to do this year, though, is leave all this. I started, well, let me just do this. Here's the sun. Coming up in the east. Comes up over here. Down over there. Look at it hitting this house. Now, I realized when I was pulling my blinds every morning to keep the sun out, at some point I started looking at these weeds in my yard among the watermelons. Oh, little cucumber. There's a bunch of cucumbers in here too. But I started looking at these weeds as in the same way I look at the blinds. Okay? As shade. Okay, now these weeds are going to shade the morning. They're overgrown now. I mean, they're up there now, right? But for the longest time, they would provide early morning shade because they're smaller, the weeds, and late afternoon shade, right? And then these plants got full sun during the middle of the day. Well, now they're kind of overrun. And that's all right. It's still almost 100 degrees every day. And the sun here is intense, man. I'm from up north, and it's very intense here. The sun is twice the luminosity of the sun where I'm from up north. So, look at all these beautiful, beautiful flowers, man. It's crazy. Pollinators in here all day. You got to feed your pollinators, people, right? Look, down in here, watermelons, cucumbers. I've hauled dozens of them out of there. Abundance. People, that's an interesting word, abundance. Use a lot in this little gardening community you got going here. All right, here we go. I'm working my way over. There's a mulberry. Beautiful mulberry tree, man. I put that in around November, right? I was told down here you put trees in around Thanksgiving, so I did. That one went in. Now these all just sprouted, by the way, from the debris, the pine cones and whatnot from these trees, or maybe from the old trees they took out, right? Purple tie basil. Look at that thing. Love it. It's a very good basil. Oh, wow. Excuse me. I'm getting all fascinated in here. I can come out here and just watch insects for hours. Well, okay, that's probably an exaggeration. It's too hot for that. But for an hour at a time, I can do that. For about an hour. Then it's so hot, it's like, okay, man. Look at these things. Hummingbirds love those. All these pollinators love these things. And I need mulch. I need to make soil. So at the end of this season, all of this is going to make a nice, I'm going to walk through here. It's going to make a real nice compost, right? More soil. Oh, awesomeness. Check that out. Got the amaranth popping. That's beautiful. Now look at the bug damage here. Now, do I care? No, I really don't. I don't care. Bugs have to eat too. I don't particularly, get into amaranth, the grain. It's all right. But I'm not into that, harvesting the seed heads. The leaves I was planning on eating, but the bugs ate them. So that's cool. They can eat some. There's more over here. Look at the size of that amaranth over here. It's enormous, man. There's plenty of leaves. These are sunflowers, right? This stand of sunflowers came and went and made a lot of sunflower seeds. Wow, I gotta leap through here, I gotta tell you. Okay, now this is a stand of blackberries. You can see I put netting over it. There are 3 types of blackberries and some raspberries in here. It'd be like Arapaho, Cherokee, I don't know, I forget. Stuff like that. Navajo, Indian name berries. Produced abundantly. First year, abundance. Produced a tremendous amount of those things. And now they're just shooting everywhere. I always tell myself, I'm going to tip root those and do a bunch of work in the yard. Then I'm like, it's 1,000,000 degrees. It's Georgia. I'm going to die out there. And I'll tip root them in a little while when it cools off. I mean, it's got a lot of time, people. So let me